Northern Territory, home to rugged mountain ranges, endless desert plains, lush swamplands, and some of the most weird and wonderful creatures in the whole world. Australia's untamed frontier, and as of next year, it's open for business. Fracking is a controversial method of extracting natural gas from deep underground. It is already being used in New South Wales, Western Australia and South Australia. And now, with Chief Minister of the Northern Territory Michael Gunner lifting the ban on fracking, the Northern Territory is the next domino to fall to the natural gas industry. But with Australia already going through a gas crisis, is this fracking really necessary? Fracking, or hydraulic fracturing, is the process of collecting natural gas from the shale layer deep underground. When fracking, a large drill will drill down into the earth until it reaches the shale layer over 2 kilometers deep. Once there, it will turn 90 degrees and begin to drill sideways for a further 1.5 kilometers. Once the hole is dug, the drill is removed and a concoction of chemicals called fracking fluid is pumped into the hole at such a high pressure it fractures the shale, releasing the natural gas into the fluid, which is then pumped to the surface and extracted. Once the gas has been extracted from the fracking fluid, there are 3 ways fracking companies will use to dispose of it. The first way is they can take out the chemicals from the fluid and return the water to the surface water. This is easier said than done though, as there are millions of litres of fluid to process, and fracking sites are usually in rural areas far away from any such facility. The second way is they can recycle wastewater back into other fracking sites. And the third way is once they remove the natural gas, the waste liquid will be pumped down back into the fracking hole and sealed over. The economic possibility of fracking is huge. If a large-scale operation started in the Northern Territory consisting of 670 separate fracking wells, it could create up to 1,100 new jobs and would add up to $25 billion into the Australian economy over a 25-year period. A common misconception about natural gas is that it is a greener alternative to other fossil fuels such as coal, and technically it does burn cleaner than coal, but once you add on the damage the collection of natural gas causes to the environment, coal is still a greener alternative. One of the biggest risks when fracking is the contamination of groundwater. When drilling down to the shale, the drill can potentially hit large stores of underground water, contaminating them with the harsh chemicals used in the fracking fluid. When this happens, it will poison the water that is used by communities and industries in the Northern Territory. Another risk is the fissures made under such high pressure may connect to previously unknown fissures or underground caverns that could potentially connect to groundwater storage or even the surface water. This has already happened in the Condamine River in Queensland. And that's only the chemicals in the water. Fracking sites also pollute the air around them. Concerns for the health of both people and the environment arise from chemicals used in the fracking process. The air pollutants include tropospheric ozone, diesel particle matter, and other volatile organic compounds. Most of these chemicals have no toxicological data available on them, so there is very little research on the impacts that they could have on both short-term and long-term human health. But the information we do have about the effects on fracking and human health is not good news. Communities around fracking sites in the USA have been experiencing health issues due to the pollutants in the air caused from fracking. Fatigue, nosebleeds, headaches, gastrointestinal pain, respiratory difficulty, neurological distress, and sensory failure are all common in areas around fracking sites. All of these arise from the pollutants in the air around fracking sites and does not even include the pollutants in the drinking water. But some still feel that fracking is still necessary. After all, Australia is experiencing a gas crisis. News articles from the ABC, The Guardian, and The Australian all report on a gas crisis and warn of an oncoming gas shortage for Australia. Malcolm Turnbull has responded by saying, "We will not let the power bills of Australians rise further and further because of a shortfall of gas on the east coast of Australia." A shortfall of gas. Right. Australia is the second biggest exporter of natural gas in the world, and according to an article from the Business Insider, Australia is expected to overtake Oman and become the world's biggest natural gas exporter by 2019. We don't have a shortfall of gas, and we are definitely not running out. Australia provides approximately 12% of the world's gas, but this infographic from Origin Energy shows that natural gas only makes up for about 13% of Australia's overall energy consumption. If we produce so much but consume so little, where is all the gas going? Approximately 2/3 of the gas produced on the east coast of Australia is sent to Asia. In Australia, we don't have any gas crisis, we are just exporting it all. The current domestic price for gas is $3 per gigajoule. Compare that to the export rate of $9 per gigajoule. It is not hard to see why gas companies are expanding their companies and selling their product overseas. Now gas companies Fracking is an unsustainable source of energy. Australia should be focusing on building more renewable energy sources instead of building on ones that have already been proven to have consequences on people's health and the environment. As you can see from this image, we have heaps of gas. The gas crisis is just an excuse for gas companies to exploit the Northern Territory and send most of the gas overseas, whilst Australian gas prices will continue to rise due to the ever coming gas shortage.